Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also tuning in online around the world, thanks to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, as you guys know, during the entire month of October, we're celebrating National Book Month, and our next guest is celebrating a book just in time for the kickoff of this month. We're excited to welcome back best-selling author Kwame Mbalia. He's celebrating his new book called TRISTAN Strong Keeps Punching. We'll talk to Kwame not only about the success he's been able to have with the character Tristan Strong, but also where he takes him in the newest book and what he hopes you as readers are able to take away from it as well. Kwame, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on. I'm glad to be back.
Hey, man, perfect start to National Book Month. Tristan Strong Keeps Punching. I mean, the cover, once again, knocks it out of the park, pun intended there. But the story is really incredible. I mean, I know the book is literally just coming out this week, but what has it been like for you to already see the early response to this new journey?
It's one of those bittersweet moments, I think, where it's like, this is fantastic. I love that readers out there get to, finally see Tristan's journey come to an end, but also, this is kind of the last journey, right? This is the last trip that we get to take with him as a character.
Yeah. Well, at the time we're having this conversation today on Amazon.com, the book is #1 in children's African folk tales, Kwame, and no surprise. What is so interesting to me, and I was actually just saying right before you came on here, it's so interesting what you're able to do in these books that are intended for young readers, but we adults can definitely take away from. You're able to take history, these powerful messages, but also, I think, remind young people of what's possible in embracing their own power. Is that part of what you love to do as a storyteller, to show the reader what they're able to do in their own lives?
That sentiment right there, that concept, I think, is something that I really believe is central to writing for the middle grade audience specifically, because as the middle grade readers we're targeting with this book, meaning 8 years old and up, 8-year-olds to 12, 8 to 14, or what have you. Those readers are just kind of learning, how the world exists beyond, their house, their neighborhood. There's more than just their family, right? And so their concept of what the world is around them is expanding, and they're learning so much. And so being able to write these books with themes of grief, with themes of, self-empowerment, I think it really speaks to something that they are going through in their own lives, at that moment. And so can adults read it? Absolutely. I think everyone can find something to enjoy in the Tristan Strong series and middle grade books in general. But, the intended audience, these books are a letter to them. And I think they really, really vibe with it because of what they're going through at the moment.
Yeah. Kwame, you've been able to really create your own world. Again, you craft this around things that readers will have heard about, read about, maybe even seen as far as, things in the world. But you've been able to craft these own characters and creatures. What has that been like for you to use your creativity that way, to be able to draw readers around the world, literally into a world that you created with words? Well,
I'm not going to brag too much, but I will say that I used to get in trouble for daydreaming in school, So to be able to harness that creativity and turn it into something that now teachers are stocking in the classroom, I think that's a pretty good 180. I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah. And this all began, as we kind of think about it, with this journey, as you mentioned, of course, it coming to an end, but Tristan Strong punches a hole in the sky, and he almost was for lack of a better term, Kwame, when we met him, a reluctant hero. Of course, boxing, one of your loves, we were able to find it in his own life, even though he wasn't embracing it. But in this new book, in Tristan Strong Keeps Punching, he really seems to embrace his power. So what was that like for you to kind of see him? I think one of the most powerful lines in the book, and I won't give away what it's from, but you'll know, is when he's with a group of kids and he says, I'm here to free you. What was it like for you to kind of see his journey kind of come full circle?
It's amazing, It's amazing because when you set off writing this character, as you mentioned, Tristan is dealing with so much at the outset of book one, emotionally, physically. He has been battered and bruised, and it's in book two we talk a lot about trauma and processing it in healthy and in unhealthy manners. And so in book three, to see this character, as you say, come full circle, to embrace his power to be able to help others as well as help himself, it's that emotional journey that you wish upon everyone, that everyone could kind of bounce back from terrible, awful things, and in the process of healing themselves, help to heal others as well. So it's just, I tear up thinking about it. I'm going to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it's amazing, again, what you've been able to put into these stories. And as we are reading this world that Tristan lives in, that you created, I think we can't help but thinking about ourselves and what we can do. And that's the last thing I want to talk to you about here, Kwame. Before we get into that, though, I want to say for those who are just tuning in, you're listening to Conversations Live. Excited to welcome back New York Times bestselling author Kwame Mbalia. We're talking with him today about the third book in his series featuring Tristan Strong. Tristan Strong Keeps Punching, released just in time for the kickoff of National Book Month. I want to talk about the possibilities because, as you said, the group that you're writing for, they have seen a lot. A lot of this book takes place in my area here in the South. We definitely have seen a lot in the past years, but especially as you kind of talk about history in this book, about freedom. That's one of the other themes that comes across in this book. Tristan does embrace, as I said, his power. Is that kind of also what, at the end of the day, because you've done it as a storyteller, is that what you hope all readers of these books able to realize, that not only are they in this world, but they can actually impact the world they live in? Yeah,
I think that's so important. As I said, this is the age when, those readers are starting to become cognizant of that fact, that they can impact the world around them, that they can have a say in what's happening. And so being able to kind of communicate that both as an author talking about the book and then having that being stated within the book as well, I think just reinforces that to the young readers. And I mean, honestly, it's a responsibility that we as adults and I, as a author of book for younger adults, have to take seriously, in that empowering the younger people in our lives. We have a responsibility to make sure that we're doing everything in our power as an adult to give them the opportunities to realize that, to not stifle their creativity or stifle their voices, or ignore them because, quote unquote, they're children. These children have the power to do some absolutely amazing things. And just from speaking with a lot of the young readers that I have during school visits, virtual visits now, and everything that they are going through and they have witnessed over the last, year and a half, 2 years, they are capable of doing some absolutely amazing things. I look at my own children and I get inspired by them, and I look at their classmates that they interact with, and just children, around the world. I think that they are absolutely powerful. And you know what? We adults sometimes, we just got to get out of the way.
Well, I tell you, it's so great to have been able to talk with you from book to book. Kwame, congratulations to you. Again, everyone, New York Times bestselling author Kwame Mbalia has been our guest. The new book is Tristan Strong Keeps Punching. You guys can get it through our friends at Amazon.com or through your favorite local bookstore. Kwame, how can our audience stay connected with you?
You can always find me on my website at KwameMbalia.com. Or find me on Twitter, where I'm absolutely spending way too much time at KSEKOUM.
Kwame, congratulations to you again, and looking forward to our next conversation together, man.
Thank you so much. You have a good one.
You as well. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.